They're up, they're down, they're up, they're down. They're dead, they're back. They're dead, they're back. This season for the Washington Capitals has been nothing short of an absolute roller coaster. And perhaps no 48-hour period of time has more perfectly captured that than this back-to-back set of road games in Philadelphia against the Flyers and then in Buffalo against the Sabres. First game, first half of the back-to-back. The Caps, they lose in Philly to the Flyers 4-1 in regulation. Empty net goal at the end for Philly, so it was really a 3-1 game, but whatever. The Caps played like garbage. They did not deserve to win that game. The Flyers did deserve to win that game. First period, the rookie Ryan Leonard wicked shot on the power play to put the Caps up 1-0. Alex Ovechkin on the primary assist, Pierre-Luc Dubois on the secondary assist. And that is how the first period would end. And so the good guys are up 1-0 at the end of one, and then it was all downhill from there. 4 unanswered goals for the Flyers, including the empty netter at the end. I'm just going to read them off here because there's so many of them. Travis Konechny, he scores first for the Flyers at even strength, makes it 1-1. Then we've got Trevor Zegras, 2-1 for the Flyers. And then we have got Jamie Drysdale, 3-1 for the Flyers. And then it is Owen Tippett into the empty cage, like I said, to make it 4-1. And that, of course, babes, would be your final score. So, a terrible performance by the Washington Capitals, right? They score just the one goal, and it came on the power play, which was somewhat of a surprise. They have not done a lot of scoring on their power play at all this season, but they get a power play goal here in this game, and it seems like this season, folks, whenever they do manage to score on the power play, it seems like those are the games where they do not get anything at even strength. They just cannot seem to put it all together during one hockey game here this season. If they are going well at even strength, which they have been for most of this season, then they're not getting anything on their power play and they're letting in a couple of goals against on their penalty kill, right? That's usually how it's been this season. Here in this game, they do get the goal, like I said, on the power play. Their penalty kill was perfect in this game against the Philadelphia Flyers. And so they win that special teams battle, and yet they do not generate anything at even strength. 0 goals at 5-on-5 here in this hockey game results in the 4-1 loss and a critical 2 points lost in the standings against one of the teams that you are directly battling with in the Flyers, right? So we all thought it was over, right? They are heading into Buffalo now on the second half of a back-to-back for the Washington Capitals against a rested Buffalo Sabres team who has been sitting there waiting for them to come into town. So the dreaded back-to-back with travel for the Caps, right? Second half of a back-to-back, you are going to have your backup goaltender in net as well in Charlie Lindgren. And this is a Buffalo Sabres team that is a first-place team, and they had won 8 games in a row coming into this one against the Caps. The Buffalo Sabres, they were literally, coming into this game, they were literally the hottest team in the entire National Hockey League. So folks will, forgive Caps fans if we thought that it was over coming into this game. This was a scheduled loss, as they like to call it, on the calendar for the Caps, right? Well, instead, they provide us with an unscheduled regulation win over the hottest team in the National Hockey League, a first place team, like I said, in the Atlantic Division in the Buffalo Sabres. The Washington Capitals, they come into Buffalo, they play a stout defensive game on the road here, a perfect road game pretty much. They get the regulation win 2-1, scoring late. I'll get into the scoring in just a second here. They get the late game-winning goal late in regulation. The regulation victory, so huge are those regulation victories when you were trying to make it into the Stanley Cup playoffs, right? If it comes down to a tiebreaker, that is the first one, is the regulation win column. So absolutely massive to get this regulation victory here. And they do it, like I said, over the hottest team in the NHL right now, in the Buffalo Sabres, in the Buffalo Sabres' own barn as well. So Caps win 2-1. But first, in the first period, it was the Buffalo Sabres getting off on the right foot in the first period. Oh boy, did they ever get off on the right foot in the first period. Phenomenal first period played by the Buffalo Sabres on their home ice. And yeah, they get the game's first goal. Newcomer to their team, Sam Carrick, acquired before the NHL's trade deadline. He pots one here for Buffalo, and the primary assist on this goal is a name that you might remember, beloved former fourth liner for the Washington Capitals in Beck Malenstein, former Hershey Bear as well. He gets the primary assist there on that one on Sam Carrick's goal. And so the Sabres, they are up 1-0, and that is how the first period would end. So the Caps trailing by a goal at the end of 20 minutes. And it was, honestly, a god-awful period of hockey played by the Washington Capitals in that first 20 minutes. Like, this probably was the worst period that the Washington Capitals have played all season. Never mind the scoreboard. I know it's only a 1-0 lead for the Sabres, but that was in large part thanks to Charlie Lindgren, who had himself a night. He stopped 14 of 15 Buffalo Sabres shots in the first period. That's right, folks. The Buffalo Sabres, 15 shots on net in the first period alone. The Washington Capitals, they were outshot 15-3 in the game's first 20 minutes. But it's not how you start, it is how you finish. And the Caps, they finished well. Second period, 2 minutes and 14 seconds in, and it is the rookie Ryan Leonard again. He picks up the puck just near his own defensive blue line there, and he takes off with it. He absolutely turns on the jets here through the neutral zone, gets around the defender there, beats him wide, and he comes in. He's on a 2-on-1. Again, just completely uses his speed to create that odd man rush there for himself. And it was Alexei Protas as well with him on the other side. So a 2-on-1 break for the Caps created by the rookie Ryan Leonard and his speed. And like I said, he has got Alexei Protas over on the other side there as a passing option, but the defender was kind of, taking away the pass there. And so Ryan Leonard, rather than trying to make probably a little bit of an ill-advised pass over to Alexei Protas, what have we been begging for, right? We have been begging for guys to just shoot the fucking puck, man. And that is exactly what Ryan Leonard does. Ryan Leonard has a wicked shot. We have seen that many times now throughout his young career here already. Again, just his rookie season. But we have seen this shot many times. He has got an absolute howitzer of a shot, even just with his wrist shot, right? And so he elects to keep this one for himself here. Absolutely rips it. It was the right play. Like I said, Alexei Protas was pretty much covered by the defender there. So Ryan Leonard, instead of trying to make that ill-advised pass, as we have seen so many guys do this season, right, he opts to keep and rip it. And oh boy, does he ever rip it. He absolutely just wires this thing past the netminder. And now, all of a sudden, after that terrible first period played by the Washington Capitals in which they were outshot 15-3, now, just 2 minutes and 14 seconds into the second period, they are all tied up 1-1 thanks to their phenomenal rookie, Ryan Leonard. So, unassisted goal there for Leno. Like I said, he pretty much did that all himself there, all the way from back at his own defensive blue line. So yeah, unassisted goal for Leno there. And if you've been, watching all of these Capitals games here, if you haven't tuned out yet on this season, then you will know that that is goals in 3 straight games now for the rookie. And he has a 5-game point streak going as well. And I also saw a stat today that this season by Ryan Leonard in his rookie season, this is the most goals scored by a Washington Capitals rookie since Nicklas Backstrom. And yeah, Nicklas Backstrom, that guy turned out all right. So 1-1, we are all tied up, and that is how the second period would end. And so we head into an absolutely massive third period on the road for the Washington Capitals. Their playoff lives hanging by a thread. And what do the Washington Capitals do? They absolutely dominate this third period. They kicked the crap out of the Buffalo Sabres up and down the ice for this last 20 minutes here. Absolute domination by the Caps. In this third period, they outshoot the Buffalo Sabres 13-5 in the game's final 20 minutes. And it results in a goal, finally, with just a minute and 33 seconds left in regulation. A goal here finally for the Caps. All of that hard work in that third period. It pays off here for Washington as Jakob Chychrun, the man that his teammates call a ripper, he lets this one rip on the one-timer. Absolutely incredible pass from behind the net by Alexei Protas. Protas was battling there, absolutely battling down below the goal line there. He fights off multiple Buffalo Sabres defenders. He wins this puck battle, and what an important puck battle win it was, as he is able to take this puck, and he had already taken a look over his shoulder, right? He knew that Jakob Chychrun had creeped down into the slot there, and eyes in the back of his head, he finds him perfectly on the tape, and Jakob Chychrun lets it fly past the netminder, and the Caps have got the 2-1 lead late here, like I said, with just a minute and 33 seconds left in regulation. And that is the defenseman Jakob Chychrun's 23rd goal of this season already. That obviously leads all defensemen in the National Hockey League, as that is just a ridiculous number for a D-man to have in this league. Just an incredible season by Jakob Chychrun, just building off of and improving upon the absolutely incredible season that he had last season in his first season with the Washington Capitals. So yeah, 23 goals for Chicky, leads all NHL defensemen this season. What a season by him. What a goal here by him yet again. And yeah, obviously this goal here late with a minute and 33 seconds left only in regulation, this would stand up as the game winner for the Caps. And so for Jakob Chychrun as well, not only it's his 23rd goal of the season, it is his 7th game-winning goal of this season already. That as well, 7 game winners, that leads all National Hockey League defensemen this season as well. So absolutely clutch goal. Caps get the 2 points, massive 2 points in the standings, keeps their hopes alive for yet another day here. And shout out to Charlie Lindgren as well. Not an easy assignment here whatsoever tonight. Like I said, against a high-powered, high-flying Buffalo Sabres team, a first-place team who had won 8 straight games. You come into their building on the second half of a back-to-back for yourselves. The Buffalo Sabres were rested. They were ready to go. They were going to throw everything at you. And Charlie Lindgren, just an absolutely sparkling performance. He stops 29 of 30 Buffalo Sabres shots. All right, babes, that about sums it up, doesn't it? Like I said, this season is just, it's up, it's down, it's up, it's down. They're dead, they're back, they're dead, they're back. Here they are, back again. They're still alive, believe it or not. There is still a chance. Are you telling me there's a chance? There is a small chance, at least, that they can still get into the Stanley Cup playoffs here. They have, like I said, kept their hopes alive for another day here. Just a massive, massive 2 points. You probably would have thought that with this back-to-back set that it would have been the other way around, right? Like you probably would have expected them to win on the front half of the back-to-back in Philly against a weaker Flyers team. And then you probably would have expected them to lose on the second half of the back-to-back for themselves, right? Against this rested Buffalo Sabres team who, like I said, had won 8 straight games. You probably would have expected the Caps to lose this one here against the Sabres, right? So you probably would have expected it, flipped around, the other way around. But at this point in the season, we really do not care, right? 2 points is 2 points. It doesn't matter if you got them in the front half against Philly or if you got them in the back half against Buffalo. It really, really, really does not matter at this point. So yeah, huge 2 points here for the Caps. They have won 2 of their last 3 here. And now, of course, this sets up just an absolutely massive game on Saturday against the Boston Bruins. So if the Caps can pull that one off, if they can get a win against the Bruins on Saturday, then it's really going to be game on here, right? Because they have gained a little bit on the Boston Bruins here. The Bruins tonight, the same night here that the Caps beat the Sabres in Buffalo, the Boston Bruins, they lost on home ice in Boston to the San Jose Sharks, and they lost that one in regulation. So the Caps, they gained 2 points here tonight on that wild card spot. The Islanders, they were idle tonight. They did not play, but the Penguins, they did lose to the Golden Knights in Las Vegas. So yeah, Caps gaining on a couple of teams here tonight in that playoff race. So again, you stay alive for another day, right? And it makes it, so that it's still exciting here for us, right? These games still do matter for the Washington Capitals at this point. This extends that just a little bit more. We get to be invested for a little bit more here, right? And like I said, sets up just an absolutely massive game on Saturday against the Boston Bruins. And if they beat the Bruins on Saturday, then like I said, it is really going to be game on. So babes, again, thank you all so much for watching. Really, really appreciate it. You guys leave me your comments down below. I always love reading those. Some really great comments coming in here lately. I haven't yet had a chance to go through and respond to them. I will get around to doing that just as soon as I have time. I've been very, very, very busy lately. Yeah, I will get back to all of you, I promise. And I have read them all, so I love reading your guys' comments. So keep leaving those for me. You guys have some really great insights to this team for sure. And yeah, just thank you all so much for being here. Like I said, having a blast here. Glad that, these games will continue to matter, at least for just a little bit longer here for the Washington Capitals. It makes it all the more fun, right? So yeah, until next time, babes, we will be back. Obviously, after that massive game against the Bruins on Saturday, we will be right back here on the YouTube channel. So I look forward to chatting with you all then. Again, thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, babes. And as always, baby, let's go Caps.